ANCSY. So David Swerber here with your weekly Dvar Torah from National Board this week on Parshat Beshalach. So might just be me because I'm the weird, freaky public school kid, but I really think that it's all of us. That for the first 5 years of your life, you could not say one word that was completely off limits. For example, I had this crazy ritual that I had to partake in like around kindergarten time. We all wrote the word down on this piece of paper and put it in this box, and this box was like buried outside in the backyard because you could not, under any circumstances, let this word come out of your mouth. Or if you're a bit more normal, maybe this is what you had to deal with. You sat on those carpets in pretzel style, Indian style, whatever you called it, and listened to your teacher with this color book that talked about this train that had overcome this ginormous mountain and kept on going and going and going, and it was burning out. But all it could say was, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and all it couldn't say, all it could not say was this one word, can't. Right? You were told that you couldn't say that because you, my friend, are capable of doing anything. And you can't say I can't because you can, right? And then around year 5, that sort of went away, and then reality hit, and then you became a little bit depressed. But what I think, since I have this really cool graphic that I just found, that in Parshat Beshalach, first couple of psukim, it tells us how this isn't the case, and we still need to hold that we can't say this word because we can, right? So what does it say in my lovely chumash over here? That it happened when Pharaoh sent out the people, that God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, because that was near. For God said, perhaps the people will reconsider when they see a war, and they will return to Egypt. So God turned the people toward the way of the wilderness and the Sea of Reeds. So, interesting, right? Hashem has a straight path to take the Jewish people directly to Israel. Directly there, and obviously he could do it. You had the 10 plagues, you had all these crazy things going on, the hail, the blood, like, you would think, Hashem's almighty, he could take us straight there. Why would he take us on this convoluted path? The answer you get here is that he knew us. Hashem knew what our breaking point was. And he knew that if we went straight to Israel, just like, we looked over the mountains and saw these huge, massive, giant Canaanites ready to slaughter us all. Though Hashem told us, like, you're going to win. You need to go in there and you need to conquer the land. He knew that we wouldn't listen because we'd freak out and run all the way back. It was all too much, all too soon, emotional breakdown, whatever you want to call it. Hashem knew that we would not succeed. So, from our perspective, it seems like we're getting punished by traveling around in the desert. But Hashem is doing it for our own sake in order to make sure that we have a chance in the end. So, what does this mean for us? What does this mean for that little word that we can't say? And what does it mean for that little train that tries to get over the hump? I think that this could be answered by looking at this relationship that we see here. It's said by Rabbi David Aaron of Oraita that this could be understood a little bit more if we bring an analogy about our relationship with Hashem. It's almost like we have an Olympic trainer, and we all are the Olympians. What's that relationship like? The Olympic trainer has been working with you for the past 4 years, and he's training in order to make sure that you win, that you succeed, that you get that gold medal, and you can stand up there and be like, yeah, that's it. He wants that for you. He wants you to be happy, and he wants you to obtain the greatest good for yourself. So how is he going to do that? He's going to beat you to a pulp. He's going to give you tests that are 2 things. They can't be too hard. Because if you're absolutely insane and he knows that you can't do them, then what's the point? Because it's just going to lower your self-esteem, right? But if it's too easy, it's not going to push you. When you get to the Olympics, you're going to look like an idiot, no? So these tests that he gives you, the Olympic trainer, the amount of running that he makes you do, how high he makes you jump, how many pole vaults he makes you do in a row, like whatever it may be, whatever you're into, he gives it to you, so it's between 2 things. So it's hard enough in order to push you, in order to make you better, yet not too hard that you can't succeed. And that's the same thing with Hashem in our lives and with Hashem and the Jewish people. He knew that if he sent them straight there to Israel, the Jewish people, they wouldn't do it. It was absolutely impossible, and that's not what Hashem wanted. Hashem wanted us to succeed, right? And it's the same thing in our lives every single day. The test that each and every single one of us go through, that we wake up every single morning and it's just like what am I dealing with? I don't want to get out of bed. Whether it's family emergencies, or that, a really jerky boyfriend that just broke up with me, or that midterm that I have tomorrow in Calc that I really need to be studying for instead of giving you this Dvar Torah, but, Hashem's more important. Like, whatever it may be, you have so many tests in your life. We all have so many tests in our lives. But I think the thing that Parshat Beshalach is trying to tell us, that Rabbi David Aaron is trying to tell us, is that Hashem knows you, and he knows you really well, because he knows everything, right? And he wants you to succeed because he wants you to have the greatest good, and he wants you to be happy. That's why we're here, right? saying right a lot. Um, so he's not going to give you these tests, these horrible things to deal with because he knows you're going to fail. You can't say that you can't. Because he's giving you these things because he knows that you can succeed and overcome them and jump over that hurdle and get to the other side as a stronger and better person. And the only reason why he's doing it isn't in order to make you stronger. Like crazy Gemara that makes me happier, I'm happier all the time. It's something along the lines of that, like Hashem doesn't love you if you haven't cried over the past like 40 days or something like that. Don't quote me on it. Something along those lines. I think it still applies even if it's not a Gemara. Pretty sure I heard it somewhere, but that's absolutely insane, right? He pushes you hard in order to make you better. But he only does it so you could succeed. Because if you couldn't, then what's the point? So I think the lesson to learn from all of this is that though this was some little lesson that we were told for the first 5 years of your life, that you can't say that word, you can do it, and then around age 5, the real world came, is that real world is completely false. That we still can't say that word. Because every single trial and tribulation that's handed to us, Hashem is doing it for our own good because he knows that we can overcome it. And it might seem like we're traveling around the desert and we have no purpose. And why couldn't we have just went straight there? But maybe Hashem knows. And he knows that if he sent you on that other path, that it wouldn't have been good and you wouldn't have done well and that you would have failed. So when we're all dealing with these things that we go through every single day throughout our lives, and they seem absolutely crazy and insane, and how can I possibly overcome this, and how can I possibly make the world a better place and reach my potential and do thing A, B, C, D all at the same time, because like life as teenagers is just so crazy nowadays with everything we're expected to do. I can't do it. But we're told here, no, we can. And Hashem knows that we can. And we won't ever be put in a situation without that Olympic trainer, without Hashem behind our backs pushing us. So with that, Shabbat Shalom. Love you all, and see you all very, very soon. Shabbos.